What's up, people? Welcome back to the Guardian File. Make sure you hit that like and sub button. Let's get into it. Now, when you think of jail or prison, you probably believe that it could be an extremely violent place, and you would be right. But that violence is normally directed towards other inmates. Once every blue moon, it rarely happens. That violence will be directed at an officer. And see, the reason why that rarely happens is because it comes along with extreme consequences. Consequences that most inmates aren't willing to face. Because in essence, an inmate punching or being violent towards a correctional officer, prison guard, jailer, whatever you want to call it, is equivalent to a civilian being violent towards a police officer. Just imagine what comes along with that. So if a person is already doing time or facing time, waiting for trial, do you think that you or they would want to take the chance of making that time even longer or even worse? Most people wouldn't. Now, you'll have some inmates or people facing trial that either know that they're about to serve a life sentence or are in the midst of serving a life sentence and really have nothing to lose. Now, those are the most dangerous type of inmates. Because putting your hands on you as an officer really wouldn't make a big difference. They're never getting out anyway. So when you have those type of inmates, those would be the most violent ones. Now, aside from them, you just have some dudes that just don't give a shit. They may be facing a year or two. They just don't give a shit. They'll put their hands on you. So with knowing that there, even though it sounds crazy, knowing that there really isn't a physical threat on a daily basis directed towards officers, a lot of times we can become lax and not be aware of our environment. Even though we know we're walking into a jail or a prison every day, sometimes you'll get so comfortable whereas you really don't think about it. And that's when it'll happen. But for the most part, there are signs that you can pick up on before this takes place. Body language, hand gestures, the volume of someone's voice, whether they're talking aggressively or calmly. Those are the signs that normally throw up red flags in our head that will dictate whether something is about to happen or not. We look for those signs. We rely on those signs. But it doesn't always go that way. Sometimes a person can completely catch you off guard because they're not showing any signs at all. See, in this video clip, this is what you're going to witness. A correctional officer, a prison guard, who didn't see it coming, and it came. Make sure you hit that like and sub button and check it out. What are your thoughts on what you just witnessed? Let me know in the comment section. Would you have handled it any different? Would you allow that to happen to you? Let's talk about it. Now, first off, I want to say this. This job isn't for everybody. You know, a lot of times, which I'm this person that I'm about to describe, a lot of times we end up in this job because we need a job. And a jail or a prison is something that's always going to be there, unfortunately. But with working in that type of environment, you know that this can happen. It's going to probably happen to you at least once throughout your whole career. It was unfortunate that this happened to this gentleman. But I'm going to say this. This is not a person that I would want working with me. Because as you saw, he got punched in the face and didn't help his co-worker out at all. Luckily, there were some other people there. Even though he looked like he was handling it pretty well himself, it would help if he had some assistance. Most likely, this was probably this guy's last day. Because he didn't look like he had any fight in him at all. And I'm going to leave it at this. If you're anything like him, don't bother to apply for the job.